about jump rope because jump rope is fun. Jump rope is dope. With jump rope, you can get such an amazing workout in such a little time. I always tell people 10 minutes of jump rope is equivalent to a 30-minute jog on a treadmill at 6.5 miles an hour. A lot of times people, they pick up a jump rope and they start for 30 seconds and they be like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? So jump rope is official. So, I'm black, of course, and I grew up in I was born and raised in the Bronx, but I always went to school in Harlem. But back in those days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore, but right. So we used to go outside at lunchtime and play double dutch, play straight rope games like 2 on time, don't be late. And I don't really remember when I picked up a single rope, but I did pick up a single rope and I tried to teach myself how to jump rope. I think my earliest recollection, I remember when I was in the 6th grade, I used to go outside and jump rope, and I used to try to do the double unders all the time. I used to fall. My mom used to scream out the window like, stop. I'm like, look, I gotta get it, And then in junior high school, my next memory, we had this contest. So how many people, how many can do the most in 100 in 1 minute? And I think I ended up doing 240, winning a little trophy. And I was just like, okay, this is cool. And then moving on, those are my childhood memories. And then moving on to the adulthood, at 19 years old, I used to walk past Equinox Gym all the time. And one day, me and my friend, we decided to walk in, and they had this class called Arrow Box, Arrow Jump. And I'm like, yo, is this a jump rope class? And it was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay, cool, sign me up. So that's where the journey began as an adult, which is way different from being a child, but that was my journey. Actually, I was 19 years old. I was a kid. So my mindset was not about working out to lose weight, working out to do this. It was just, I just saw a jump rope on the menu, or no, not the menu, but the agenda. And I said, hey, I'm going to join this. And then I started jumping. I still wasn't into eating right. I wasn't into doing weights or calisthenics. I wasn't into anything. It was just, I was doing the aerobics classes, jump rope, aerobics class, jump rope. And what happened was a year later, I dropped so much weight. I was just like, what's going on? I went from so I gained the freshman, I promise, the freshman 2030 or something like that. And I went from that big to looking at pictures oh my God, I was 165. But it was all cardio, and I was just like, oh my goodness. So that's when jump rope, the lights went off, and jump rope became that staple. So as I went on in my life, anything that I would do, I would include jump rope. If I'm doing weightlifting or calisthenics, it would be a circuit, add jump rope. Circuit, add jump rope. Lift weights, add jump rope. So jump rope then became a staple in my life. But it really became important to me as life progressed, and then I became a busy person. I became a mom. I became a mom, became a wife, was working full time, trying to manage business. And jump rope was now that thing oh my God, I could get such an effective workout in a short amount of time on the times or the days I can't make it to the gym, or I can't do this or do that. The jump rope was right there. You could do it anytime, any place, and all you need is a little piece of equipment, which is the jump rope. Today's show, Good Morning America, WPIX 11. If we do magazines, I was just featured in the Today First for Women magazine, which just launched February 2nd, but it came out just now. The Dr. Oz Show, Tribeca Film Fest. I did the Advil commercial on TV, and the list goes on and on. All right, so jumping at different schools and going to different events and jumping. And then in the community, I was starting to be known. So I used to volunteer at the 92nd Y. No, I actually worked at the 92nd Y, at the Salvation Army and other little places. I used to go volunteer at events, at churches, at summer camps, after school programs. I was volunteering, doing all of that. And then in 2014, that's when, I got the call from the Dr. Oz Show. And it was basically me dancing salsa on a treadmill, but I was doing that. And the funny thing is, when I used to go to the gym at 24 Hour Fitness, I used to jump rope, do my thing. And I used to always tell people, hey, look, one day I'm going to be on TV jumping rope. Watch, I'm going to be on TV jumping rope. And that was manifestation, which I didn't know at that time. But I used to always tell anybody that would listen, hey, look, I'm going to be on TV jumping rope. So in 2014, I believe I went to a jump rope competition in March. And then I believe on February. And then in March, I believe I got called for the Dr. Oz. And then in April, I did Tribeca Film Fest. So the switch flipped in my brain oh my gosh, there's really some value in this. Now that other people on a bigger level are watching and calling out. So that's when I said, okay, wait a minute, we have to do something on a bigger level. So that's when, we came up with with Make It Fun. So before I went to Dr. Oz, I didn't have a website. I didn't have anything. So I was talking to my friend at the time. I'm like, hey, look, I need a name. What's the name? So she said, Make It Fun. She said Make It Fun, and everything for her at that time was NYC. So we did Make It Fun NYC. And the crazy thing is, when I went to the Dr. Oz show, he don't, when the people, they don't really know anything about you. It's the producers that do all the work. So I met him. I showed him how to dance on the treadmill real quick. And then when we came out for the show, he introduced me, and literally he was like, Bernadette is here to show us how to make our workout fun. And I said, confirmation. So basically when I have my classes, I go through, first I want to make sure people can hold down a basic for a while, because a lot of times people, they see all of these fancy tricks and they want to do all of these crazy tricks. And my thing is, I'm all about safety, because jump rope, yes, it's fun. Yes, jump rope has many benefits. But if you're not careful, if you don't know how to size your rope properly, if you don't know how to hold your arms right, or if you are jumping too high, landing too hard, jumping on the wrong surface, and especially as you get older, if you're concerned about your knees, ankles, feet, and joints, you want to make sure that you're doing it properly to ensure that you're going to get an effective and safe workout. So my thing is safety first, and then the basics. Yeah, so basically when you're jumping, so I'm going to tell y'all now, and this is just, information, but jump rope can be safer than running and jogging. Let me repeat that again. Jump rope can be safer than running and jogging, because honestly speaking, you're only supposed to jump high enough to clear the rope. So if a rope is this thin, you only need to jump that high. You only need to clear the rope. A lot of times people, get mistaken and think that they're jumping over a bucket or jumping over a chair. No, you're just jumping over a little thin piece of material. And a lot of times people are jumping too high because their ropes are too long. So now when your rope is long, your rope has to lag before you jump over it, giving you the illusion that you have to jump high. So some safety precautions for your knees is basically only jumping high enough to clear the rope. Do not land hard, jump on your toes only. Wear the correct shoes, which can be cross trainers or running shoes, but everyone's feet are different. So you want to make sure you wear the proper footwear for your feet conditions. You want to make sure your knees are slightly bent. You want to make sure that you're jumping on the correct surface, which could be a wood floor or a rubber turf. Now, for people that watch me all the time, like if I'm not in the gym, I'm jumping on a mat, and I'm jumping on a mat because it absorbs shock, so you can do things that's safe. And then if you are concerned about your knees, you want to do exercises that support the muscles around your knees, such as things that's going to support your quads, your hamstrings, your hips, and your glutes. Let me tell you, I am jumping right now with arthritis and torn meniscus, okay? And I'm going to do what I got to do. So I work, and I tell everybody, if you have a serious condition or you have a condition, speak with your doctor. Like my doctor and my physical therapist, they have not advised me to stop jumping rope, because I told them I am going to jump rope. But what I do is I modify. So I'm not the same jumper I was when I was 20 years old, but I modify to make sure that I'm jumping safe. So yes, like I said, jump rope can be safer than running and jogging, because with running and jogging, you have to do this. You have to place impact. With jumping, you jump on both feet. And like I said, only jumping high enough to clear the rope. Like I've jumped through my pregnancies. I've done it all. Like jump rope is safe. So as far as moms, I get it. I am a real person, and a lot of things that I may do on my social media, I get judged for, but I'm a mom. I get it. Like I have 3 small children, 13 and under. I have 2 of them special needs. I'm married. I have a job. I have my business that I'm running. And it can be like a lot of times when you're going to work, because I'm working remotely, or whether I have to go to work, I get it. Like most of the times, especially when you're trying to get kids ready for school and things like that, you've already done a job before you even got to your job. So you're up at like 5, 6 in the morning. You got to get the kids together. You got to get yourself together. You have to do your morning routine if you have one. And then you have to travel to work. Then you get to work. And then when you finish work, you got to travel back home. And then you can't just drop and say, okay, I'm going to exercise now. No, you have to deal with the kids. You got to deal with your husband. You have to deal with things. And then sometimes things just come up. up. And a lot of times, even though it's our best intention to really go and work out, sometimes it's just not the reality. So I like to speak to our reality. We have to find that little time. So a lot of times I may go outside for a good 15 minutes and do like 10 sets of 100 jumps and call it a day. Okay, I got it in. Or maybe after work, or maybe at night if I had time, I'll get it in. Like after I clocked out at 5 o'clock today, I had to cook dinner for the kids real quick. And then I had a workout with Coach Naima at 7 o'clock. And then I had to hurry up and cook dinner for me and my husband. And then I came here. So it's about finding ways to really get it in. And a lot of times, if you cannot work out on your own, join some program or download an app, do something. So like with the workout, like right now I'm a member of God knows how many apps. I pay for it, whatever, invest in yourself. But sometimes me knowing, okay, at 7 o'clock I have to log on for this workout, that works for me. Because a lot of times we neglect ourselves. We pay attention to everyone else's appointments. Our kid, okay, they got an appointment, we're gonna go. If they have an appointment at school, okay, we're gonna go. If we have a doctor's appointment, we're gonna go. But a lot of times we feel guilty to take that time for ourselves, and we have to intentionally schedule that time. And this is why a lot of times I'll join challenges, because if I know that there's a live workout tomorrow at 7:30, guess what? I have an appointment. I'm gonna be at my appointment and I'm gonna work out at 7:30 or whatever the time is. For real, like seriously, you could do something like a circuit. Do a few squats, push-ups, planks, jump rope. Do like 3 to 5 sets of that, and you had like a whole body strength training, cardio session, and it's a good workout. I always, even though I love the fancy stuff, I always stick to the basics. You know, like the basics, that's my workout. So anytime, like sometimes when I do my live 10 sets of 100 jumps, I always do that live. And that takes about 10 minutes. That's the workout. And then, you know, I'll turn on TikTok, the music, and I'll just have fun. That's when I do all the tricks and stuff. But even though all the tricks and stuff like that, all of that is fancy, I love it, you always must maintain and stick to the basics. And the basics is, you know, because when you're doing cardio and you're doing it to lose weight, you have to do something steady. So like say people get on the Stairmaster for 20 minutes, or they get on the treadmill for 20 minutes, or elliptical for 20 minutes. I'll sit there and I'll jump rope for 10 minutes. I'll do 10 sets of 100 jumps, and then I'll have the fun after that. So definitely you can make it a workout. It's not all about like the fun and the tricks and things like that, but you know, work and play. And like I always tell people, yeah. And I always tell people, you know, a lot of times you want to be consistent by finding something that you know you'll stick to, you know, and this is why you can have fun. But depending on your goals, sometimes you're going to have to tweak that based on what your goals are. But the first step is finding something that you can do consistently. So even with the pandemic, you know, I was on 3 blood pressure pills, right, last year. And in January, before pandemic hit, I said, you know what? I am going to commit myself to doing 10 sets of 100 jumps at least 3 to 5 times a week. And I committed to it. The goal wasn't about losing weight. The goal literally was to be consistent and drop my blood pressure. Those were my goals. So I maintained that, I did that, and by the end of the year, before the holidays, I had dropped 30, and I went from 3 pills to 2 pills. And this was all with being consistent. So a lot of times you have to find that strong why, not that traditional why, like, oh, I want to look good for my cruise next year. Oh, I want to look good for my birthday. Oh, I just want to find a new man, or I want to do this and that and the third. Your why has to be stronger. And my why was for my health. This is why I do not preach jump rope for weight loss. I preach jump rope for your health, not just your physical health, but your mental and your emotional health, right? Because I know when you were jumping rope, you were not thinking about them kids. You wasn't even thinking about your dinner. You was thinking about, oh, look, I'm going to focus and I'm going to get this. I'm getting a good workout and I'm having fun. And I'm sure you felt that way. And this is definitely why I preach it. As a matter of fact, I just taught a class last Sunday, and one of the ladies, like, I don't know her, but she had registered for class, and then she told her friend she wasn't going to come because she just was in a horrible emotional state. And I guess she decided to just come. And then she wrote on Facebook, oh my gosh, I was not going to come to the class because of my feelings, but I'm so glad that I came. This is my new therapy. I'm coming back again. She didn't even talk about like the workout itself. She spoke about how she felt better and how it was such a release after doing the jump rope. So basically, I started working with women a couple of years ago because you know, I saw women that wanted to work on their goals. They wanted to maybe work out and lose some weight, but they had barriers. They had things that they were stressed about. And a lot of times, if you're stressed about something, you're going to revert to what? Maybe emotionally eating. If you're emotionally eating, you're going to be eating all the wrong things. So no matter what physical thing you do, you're not going to be able to lose weight. Okay? Mentally, because you're stressed out, your emotions are all whacked out and all over the place, you don't have the mindset and the strength to carry out and carry through with some kind of physical activity. So all of it works out together. So a lot of times, you know, I work with moms whose children, who they suspect may have autism, or they're in the beginning stages. They don't have anybody to talk to about it. Their family is like, whatever, they'll get over it. You know, you're making these things up. Oh, they're trying to put these things in our poor black babies, and they're stressed out. And I was there. I remember like being stressed out, crying every day, had no support, no nothing. And I had to really tough it out while still working a full-time job, and then dealing with another child who was neurotypical, meaning they didn't have autism. So all of these things are happening, and that can cause somebody to break down if they're not strong enough. So I remember I started going live I was going live on Periscope, and I was talking about jump rope probably, and somehow I must have started talking about my family, and I got on this topic of autism, and I had so many women flocking to me, like asking me all of these questions and saying, oh my gosh, I suspect this, and just speaking to their hurt and their pain. And I have like a few of them that come back and say, oh my gosh, because of your videos, I went and I got my child diagnosed, and now they're in this program, they're flourishing, and this, that, and the third. So basically just helping moms really like get through those things in their lives that's stopping them from being great. Like there's so many women, and this is why I now say JUMP, J-U-M-P, Journey of the Underdog Making Progress, right? So JUMP signal, yes. JUMP signifies taking action, you know? So with the jump rope, like when you turn the jump rope, if you don't jump over the rope, guess what? The rope is gonna hit your foot. You turn the rope again. You don't jump over it, it's gonna hit your foot again. So it's the same thing with our mental and emotional wellness. If you're going through this thing that you haven't gotten over it, it's like the rope hitting your foot. It's gonna keep hitting your foot until you actually go to therapy or talk to somebody or go see a medical doctor about whatever medical condition. If you're trying to start your business or your brand, you have to take some kind of step. You have to jump over that rope. And if you're not going to jump over the rope, then you might as well like put it down. So it's either you're going to do something, you're going to jump, you're going to do something, you're going to take action. And back in 2000 or 2001, I actually made an attempt on my life. You know, I was like really stressed. Yes, I was really stressed out. I was like, I don't have anybody to talk to because I was being judged here, there, and the third. So it's like, I felt I didn't have anybody to talk to. And one day I just said, you know what? This is it. I can't do it no more. I called my coworker, and I still feel bad to this day, but I called my coworker and I said, hey, look, if I don't come to work tomorrow, I'm dead. That's it. And I hung up. And, you know, I swallowed a bunch of pills, and somehow I found my way at the ER. I took myself to the emergency room, got pumped out, and from that day forward, I started going to therapy. Therapy became a part of my life because I needed someone to talk to. I needed the voice of reason. And I went several years off and on. And I think the last bout of therapy was when I was pregnant with my middle son. And I went to a specific therapy for a specific issue. And I was just like, wow. And I'm grateful for those years of therapy. Because of the therapy, I've been able to deal with things that's been coming my way now. And I could only imagine if I hadn't did that self-work, that all the things that come at me now, it would break me down. But I'm strong, you know, and once I was able to get that therapy, I kind of now, if something's going on, talk about it, seek help. This is why I'm very real. This is why I'm very transparent. This is why I'm very authentic, because when a lot of times people hurt when they are not themselves, when they're trying to hide themselves and be somebody different because of what others expect. Yep. But you definitely want to get help. Like I said, I did years of therapy because I wanted to get myself together, not not only for myself, but for my kids. Like, I have kids. I have issues that I don't even want to put on them. So I have to make sure I was in a sound mind, body, and spirit by going to therapy and getting the help and the support that I needed to move forward. So there is help. There are things out there, but you have to realize that you do have a problem. And when you do, you move on from there. And I will also tell people, hey, look, like, if you don't know where to start, get a life coach, right? Now, a life coach is not a therapist, but they can hold you accountable to you getting therapy or helping you do this or helping you do that. So definitely want to take care of your mental and emotional wellness, and especially during this time of COVID, because, right now, I started my in-person classes again. I did stop due to COVID, but I am teaching my in-person classes again every 2 weeks in New York City. I also teach online classes, so I have a membership, and then I have like the one-on-one classes. I also have an upcoming Jump and Burn challenge, and some speaking engagements later on during the year. Oh, people can find me on Facebook, Instagram at Make It Fun NYC. They can find me on YouTube at BERN April 20, or just look up Make It Fun NYC. You can find me on TikTok at Jump Rope is Dope. But you put in my name, you'll find me everywhere.